We did it. We finally got the exhaust we need for the 328. Oh, let me put this thing down. What's going on, everybody? So, if you've been keeping up with the E36 series, you know that we have been in dire search of a stock exhaust, or any exhaust for that matter, for this thing, because if you haven't seen my old videos, go back and watch them and you can get a sound clip. This thing's exhaust is disgusting. It's a Flowmaster, like mini muffler with like a cherry bomb resonator, no cats. Sounds absolutely horrible. So I have been on the hunt for a new exhaust, and E36 parts were never rare, never hard to find. Out of nowhere, they became difficult to find because everyone realized the cats are worth money. So people basically just mangled the exhausts and can't find them. Long story short, guy finally reached out to me on Instagram, said, hey man, I got a 328 stock exhaust. We talked, and here it is. This is actually a complete full exhaust, untouched, unmodified, stock muffler with even the original like flapper vacuum actuated silencers. That's not gonna get hooked up, so it's not important. But anyway, resonator and the cats, and I'm super stoked. The only downside is, out of no other reason than to spite me, it seems, he cut the O2 sensors. And if you guys aren't familiar, the O2 sensors that go here route probably like a foot this way. Like the connectors are right there. Like there is absolutely no excuse for not unclipping them, but he cut them. So I don't know what the hell that was about. But I got the other old exhaust that I was gonna use over there in the woods. I grabbed those O2s. They're probably not even good. They've been sitting under like a foot of snow for like a month now, but they're better than these. So I'm just gonna throw them in. And the issue is the O2 connector on this car is actually rubbed through, so I wouldn't be able to hook it up anyway. But at least I'll have O2s in there that will work. But so anyway, full exhaust. The guy had issues getting it off. All the nuts were rounding. It was a pretty rusty car. You can see this is it's not bad, but it's definitely a Midwest exhaust. But so anyway, I got all my bracketry and stuff. I'll show you guys in a second. We're gonna get this thing on and make this thing sound good. So about $60 later on FCP Euro, and we have all the stuff that you need to mount an exhaust. I have the muffler hangers, I have the muffler clamps, which of course didn't come on there, and these are like OEM, like $100, they're ridiculous. FCP sells some aftermarket options that are like $10. So I grabbed these clamp onto the muffler and then go up into the hanger. We got the hanger that goes right after the resonators, which are already on that exhaust. Didn't need it, whatever, it was cheap. And then these are the little rubber donuts for those right here. So, and then the extra hardware. So we got everything we need to throw this exhaust on, and we have the gaskets where they meet the headers. I already got those in my toolbox. So that's everything we need. So we got to dig out the E36 actually, because it is kind of wedged and I've been blowing snow kind of like an ass, so I can't really get this thing out. So I gotta do some shoveling, and then we're gonna get this thing in the garage and throw this thing on there. Should go smooth. I believe I have everything needed to get this going, and that's a car from Atlanta, so there's no rust on it. So hopefully the 6 nuts right there are not stripped, or I mean hard to get out. So that should hopefully work. This out of the way. All right, let's see if she starts, and you guys can get one last exhaust note of this beautiful exhaust. Got her out. So let's get this thing in the garage, and you'll notice there's no front bumper because I just got it painted and it's sitting in my basement because I'm not in a rush to put it on because it's still winter time. So I'm just gonna kind of hold off on putting it on, but I will show you guys that either at the end of this video or in the next video. So things are making, we're making moves on this car, but my wheels are still lost in customs, which has been keeping me up at night. I don't even want to get into it right now. It's gonna ruin my day. I had to mock this up just to see, but check that out. Shout out to my buddy Mike. I traded him some E34 parts and he had his body shop paint my bumper, and they did a fantastic job. The paint match is nearly perfect. I mean, it's as perfect as you could get. 20-year-old paint plus new paint. It looks great. I don't have the trims on because, like I said, I'm not installing it, and I destroyed that side trim, so I had to order it, and I don't have fog lights in or anything like that. But oh man, this makes me happy to see, man. A paint matched bumper, finally. No disgusting, ugly, primered bumper. This thing's coming along, man. I just need to get a hood really bad, and it could use a fender. I mean, it's just dents, which are ugly, but whatever. So this car's coming along, man. But anyway, I just want to show you guys that really quick, and I wanted to see it for myself. Just for finishing touches on this exhaust, I'll give you guys one little rev. That rasp literally hurts my ears. Alright, so you guys know what time it is. This is the part where you make or break whether or not this is a, I don't know, 30-minute job or a 5-hour job, because if these snap or strip, you're done. These look like they're in great shape. These look like these will come off no issues. I even soaked them in some screw loose, so I'm not worried. And I also read somewhere on the internet that an impact is less likely to snap the studs than if you're like putting constant pressure with a breaker bar. I usually do this route and I have snapped quite a few. So I am gonna go ahead and try the Milwaukee method. I hope to God I don't just destroy it. It is a 15. You always wanna make sure you check that before you go at it. But I'm just gonna send it and see. See if the internet was right or if I find myself in utter regret. Let's see. All right, that's one. Good. So far, so good. All right, number two. All right, easy money. Last one on this bank. Ooh, hot. All right, that's three. So one was a success. Camera angle not great. All right. Oh yeah. All right, we got one left. Please don't fail me. It wasn't even tight. Oh God. Okay, the BMW gods have blessed us today. We got all 6 of the collector nuts off. And now, I believe, this car doesn't even have any rear hangers, so we got pretty much nothing holding this exhaust on. So we're just gonna go back there and start kind of jimmying, and then we're gonna jack up the rear. Or I guess we're gonna jack up the rear first and pull this godforsaken, disgusting exhaust off. And I'm gonna get you guys a good look at it because it is ridiculous. So as for back here, we have one crap. Oh my God. The exhaust fell off the front. We got one little nut holding this thing on. We got it. All right, let's pull this disgusting, vile piece of garbage out. I'm working with the door open. It's like a beautiful, like 35 degrees outside. It literally feels like summer because we've had like these single-digit temps for the past like three weeks. It's just been a brutal January. February's starting to kind of crack. Snow's melting. We got like 50s next week. Super stoked. This weekend's gonna be cold. Tomorrow I'm going to pick up the new car. I'm super excited. Then let's drag this garbage out. Oh. Look at this shameful garbage. I don't even, oh my God. Wait till you see the best part. So that's where it has to go low because the axle's in the subframe. So check out this. Instead of doing it, the right way. Let me see if I can flip this thing over with one hand. I don't think I can. There we go. They said, let's just flatten it. So this is a 2-inch pipe into a 3-inch into a whatever the hell that flattening job makes it. into a freaking Flowmaster little box. This is a tiny, tiny muffler, and this is a resonator, which is like a cherry bomb minus the red that you'd put on like my old Impala or my old Bel Air. This is not what these inline sixes are designed to run with an exhaust. So this is going straight to the dump. Absolute trash. And we are putting on this beauty, which is about twice as heavy. That was actually super light, but it is worth it because we need this for acoustic reasons. So I have to swap out these O2s really fast, and then we can put this thing up on the car. 22 mil, big old hammer. Should make rather easy work of these if they're not super seized. Very easy. That's good. Oh, that one. Oh, I already cracked this one to check. I lied. So that one was easy. I knew it was going to be easy. Alright, old O2s. So in with the old O2s. Should I have anti-seized these? More than likely, but it is what it is. Alright, that's the new O2s, or the new old O2s. And now I think we should put the rear muffler bushings on, because I think it's easier to do it out of the car than in the car. And that is that. Both the brackets and bushings are in, O2s are in. Now let's slide this thing under and give this car a new exhaust. So getting this exhaust in the right way to line it up is probably gonna take me a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse this really quick with the GoPro so I don't waste my battery on the Canon. So the exhaust is up. Like I said, it's just a pain in the ass. You gotta get both of them on there at the same time evenly, or else it won't go right. So now we can jack up the rear a little bit, and then I'm gonna fully tighten down the front, and then we're gonna line up these muffler brackets, which are definitely gonna be a pain with the bumper on. But I just wanna get this up so I can tighten down the front all the way without worrying. All right, so they're all torqued down. So now before I lower it, at the off chance that something is horribly wrong with this exhaust, don't know why that would be the case, but just make sure there's no leaks before I bolt everything up. Let's give this thing a start and see how she sounds. Oh my God. It's so quiet. It is so quiet. You literally can't even hear that this thing is on. Let's give it a little rev. But I do now hear that something in the engine bay makes an annoying whine sound. I'm not sure what that is, but. Oh my goodness. It sounds amazing. Oh my. Okay, before it gets too hot and I can't work. Dude. I am stoked. That, just the comparison alone at idle between that and this. It doesn't reek because there's cats on it. I can't even, I'm so freaking excited, guys. I like to modify my cars. I do like a good loud car, but something like this, I'm not doing anything with this car that dictates a loud exhaust. And the one thing about cars in general is, if the car is cool enough, it doesn't need a loud exhaust drawing attention. It'll bring enough attention quiet. So that's something I always think about, like, if you need a loud exhaust to make people want to look at your car, then you're doing something wrong with the look of the car. So I don't want loud exhaust. My M3 is loud enough. My other cars are loud enough. I want a quiet cruiser, and that's what we got, and I'm stoked. So now time to put the bushings on, get this thing fully set up, plug the O2s in, or at least one of the two, and get this thing on the ground and go for a test drive, hopefully before the sun goes down, because I want to rip this thing. I'm super stoked. And just like that, we have a super firm exhaust, a nice double tip again in the stock location, not this stupid single tip junk. So now let's head to the middle, get the O2s and the center support brackets sorted. I don't see how the hell. I don't really see how this is supposed to go. That's as good as that's gonna go, so that's ridiculous. Now, like I said, only one O2 sensor can plug in because the other one grounded out. So, plug this in. We're back on the ground. Let's take this thing for a spin, shall we? See how she sounds, or doesn't sound, because it should be super quiet. This is what we do with this old piece of garbage exhaust. Right into the snow. So I gotta deal with it when the snow thaws. I'm gonna go pick that up later, but good riddance to you, garbage exhaust. Oh boy, she sounds good. No check engine light. Finally got the O2s hooked up. Well, I got one, so it'll probably be back. But let's take this thing for a little cruise. The roads are just salted, which is not what I want, but whatever. I gotta go get a thumbnail really quick, actually, and then we will go cruise. We are off in a nice, quiet 328 IS as it was intended to be from factory. You kids in your modified cars, man. No, I'm kidding, but God, I love this. I can't hear the car, and that is the best thing ever, because I didn't want to hear this car. I never wanted to hear this car. M52s, M50s really don't sound good with like out mufflers and resonators unless they're turboed, obviously. But they just sound like trash, you know? So having it back to stock is a good thing. First off, more clearance underneath, because that stupid 3-inch that was squished gave you no clearance. So now when I lower this thing, I got more clearance underneath, which is cool. Retained the O2s, which is cool, half of them, and it's quiet. I mean, it's honestly, it's not even a matter of quiet or loud, right? Like, who can, like, a nice exhaust sounds good. I don't mind a loud M52 with a nice like aftermarket muffler and a cat delete. It's not even a big deal. But when you have a freaking Flowmaster and like no resonators and it's just a tiny little box, it just sounded like crap. I mean, you guys heard it. I'm gonna try to find a clip I can put in. If not, if you're really dying to hear it, go to my old video of me driving this thing, the first drive. It sounds disgusting. It is literally repulsive. The worst sounding car I've ever heard, probably in my life, as opposed to a muffler deleted 525 I had back in the day. But now I can hear all the interior noises. Some clunks in this thing for sure. I don't know if it's the crappy suspension or what. We'll sort that when I put the coilovers on, the new ones. But for now, windows down. I'll give you guys a nice pull. It's underwhelming because you can't even hear anything, but all you hear is wind, baby. These actually sound kind of solid. This actually sounds pretty good when you're kind of ripping on it. It has a nice tone. I don't know if I've ever been in and or driven an E36 with a stock exhaust. I really don't think I have. My E36 has a muffler delete, which I actually kind of hate, my M3. I would actually prefer a stock exhaust on that thing. But I mean, nah, I'm pretty sure every E36 I've ever been in has been pretty modified, either turboed or just exhaust stuff done. So I don't even know if I've ever heard an M52 stock. And I have to say, they actually kind of knew what they were doing. These sound fine. Like, maybe with the windows up, you probably can't even hear anything, but I mean, you get a not bad tone. Like, I mean, it sounds fairly sporty, but it's quiet, and I mean that's what you want. I think it sounds fantastic, mixed with a ton of other noise. This car has so many noises. Now that I don't have that stupid exhaust deafening me, I'm hearing a bunch of weird noises. But new wheels, new tires, new suspension, new tie rods. It's getting a lot. So I'd imagine most of the noises I'm experiencing are from those three. So we should be pretty solid after that. But like, oh man, I can actually take the car to redline or at least above 3,000 and it doesn't sound horrendous. So that is a success. I finally found an exhaust and it finally makes me I'm finally able to drive this car. It was literally embarrassing. Let's just put it that way. It was embarrassing the way it sounded. It sounds freaking beautiful now, nice and quiet. So now when I'm all low and slow, I don't have people kind of watching me from all over because it sounds horrible. I'd rather not draw attention to myself in that manner. So now we basically, and I don't know if I mentioned, I got a really good price on this exhaust, because I'll tell you what, the cats alone are worth 300 plus these days, and I paid less than that for the whole thing. So let's just say I came out pretty fair on this one. But now we just gotta hope to God that Customs finds my wheels, or I guess they finds them, but just sends them to me. I don't know if they're lost or what the hell. I don't want to talk about it again. I need to wait for my 2 other wheels, order tires, put the coilovers on, do the tie rods, and I mean, this car is pretty much set. I got the bumper I got to put on, painted, got to find a hood still, retint it, a few other things here and there. Again, it's still February, so I'm not rushing to get things done. After this drive, this car will probably not be driven for another month or so. So I just want to, make this video because I'm slacking on the E36 series. Tomorrow we get the new car, so stay tuned. Or actually, this video will come after that, so don't stay tuned. You've probably already seen it. But I'm excited. This car sounds good. New car coming in. It's a good weekend for me. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.